It's the Two Girls and a Bottle of Wine podcast, and I'm Janet Blair. Each week, I sit down with one of my girlfriends, whether it be
Teresa, Natalie, Carrie, Kristen, Tara, Stephanie.
We talk about whatever.
We completely restore this trailer,
fry people's faces off as a bad Mexican.
I don't understand the competition that goes on between women.
Two girls and a bottle of wine. Over a glass of wine, bottle of wine, or sometimes a couple bottles of wine. Join in on Facebook at facebook.com/2girlsandabottle-of-wine. Don't miss us. Hello, I'm Janet.
And I'm Min Min.
And we are two girls and a bottle of wine.
Because men like boobs.
And girls like wine. And you're back, Min Min. It's been what? Like a year?
2 years.
It feels like it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
And you're here for the very last podcast of 2014.
Woohoo!
I didn't realize that until today. At lunch, I was like doing a mental break from work, and I was thinking about the podcast tonight, and I was like, it's the last podcast of 2014. Cheers!
Cheers.
Yes. I'm so glad that you came back.
In the freezing weather?
It is -5 when I was driving here. Did you know that?
I had -1.
Oh, it was so cold, and people are stupid. It's been snowing for the last couple days, so it's not just cold, then the roads are ice and snow-packed, and they're so frustrating. I'm like, you know what? If you're in that much of a hurry, leave your office at 3.
Exactly.
So you don't run over us 5 o'clockers. It's really frustrating to me.
It's bad in the morning,
too. I sound like an old lady. That's why I go work out in the morning, so I get to the office at 5:30. I avoid all traffic.
That's a good idea.
It is. So you're going to start working out with me in the morning?
No. I'm still asleep.
I know. Actually, you're up that early sometimes. You'll comment on my Facebook post at like 5:30 or 6. I've noticed.
Darn. Yes, I'm up that early.
But
I'm
the
just
coffee
not.
hasn't kicked in yet.
No. Coffee's still brewing. I'm still trying to figure out where the door is to get out of the bedroom.
Do you have a coffee pot in your bedroom? Because
No.
I could see that. As much as you love coffee.
If Daryl wasn't around, yeah, I probably would.
Well, we're back. It's a cold Tuesday night, and tomorrow is New Year's Eve. We're about to encounter 2015. And we've been doing Woman Crush of the Week for quite a while now, and we're going to keep it up. But as I was preparing for this week's show, I realized that I possibly may be doing a Woman Crush of the Week this week that I've already done, because I have the memory of a gnat. And so if that happens, that means I really like this person, okay? If it's not a repeat, then just count me off as crazy. My Woman Crush of the Week is an American broadcast journalist. She's an author and a television personality. She's hosted morning television shows such as Today, The View, and the television news magazine 2020, which is where I fell in love with her as a child. She co-anchored the ABC Evening News and was a contributor on ABC News. Who am I speaking of? Barbara Walters. I love her.
She's great. I really like her, too.
And this time of year, I always am reminded of her because she has that, like, top people of the year television show that I missed the last 3 years. But I see the commercial for it on my DVR a week after it's aired, and I'm like, dang it. I wanted to see.
You should have recorded.
I think it's her most fascinating people. I know, but I don't see the commercial for it until it's already aired.
You need to work on that.
I know. Something to work on. So Barbara Walters first became known as a television personality when she was a writer and segment producer of women's interest stories on the morning NBC news program, The Today Show, where she began work with host Hugh Downs. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
I loved his voice as a child. I found it to be very soothing.
I don't remember that part, but I remember, I remember way too many of the old people.
And they started together in 1962, long before we were ever thought of. And can you believe that Barbara Walters modeled a swimsuit when an expected model didn't show up on the show? Can you see Barbara Walters? Of course, we see her now. She's much older, but I bet she was a hottie back in the day.
I'm trying to remember. It seems like she was a nice-looking lady.
And I know the running joke was Barbara Walters will always make you cry. She has great interviewing skills. I envied her when I was a broadcast journalism major. I wanted to be her and Katie Couric combined. And I found a great quote from her. It is, "Success can make you go one of two ways. It can make you a prima donna, or it can smooth the edges, take away the insecurities, let the nice things come out."
And that's true.
I love her.
She's really great.
So, Hollywood happenings. You said you had to do some research about my notes that I sent you. Was it some of this?
Yes.
Have you been listening to any entertainment stories?
Not recently.
A lot of the stories now are like wrapping up 2014 or top celebrities. We were watching Entertainment Tonight last night. Do you ever watch that show?
Once in a while. I haven't watched it in a long time.
That's how I am. Like if I look at the clock and I have nothing else to do and it's about 6:30, I'm like, oh, Entertainment Tonight's on. I like their music.
Yeah, they have good music.
Yeah. Anyway, they had their most covered celebrities of the year.
All right.
Guess who number one was? Just guess.
I
do not have a smile on my face.
Taylor Swift. Then
No, I like her.
okay.
She was my woman crush a couple weeks ago.
Nicki Minaj.
No, I like her too.
Oh, wasn't Miranda?
No,
Who would have been?
Kim Kardashian. Kim freaking Kardashian
Okay,
was the
that's sad.
most covered celebrity on Entertainment Tonight.
She
They
does
counted
nothing.
the news
I don't
stories.
Understand. I don't understand.
That's what they said. They said every time they have a news story, someone comments and says, please stop with her. And yet she has something about her where she keeps herself in the news. With her wedding, her booty shot, her daughter, her Instagram.
The only celebrity that I can tell that is anywhere associated with her is Bruce Jenner's, and he's gotten weird.
Oh my gosh, he looks scary.
Michael Jackson,
I know. So do you watch Nashville? That's definitely a Janet show. But Hayden Panettiere,
I looked her up.
she was the cheerleader.
I remember her.
She was also in that Bring It On movie, the cheerleader movie back in like the late 90s.
I didn't watch it, but yes, I know who. Yeah.
So I've always loved her. I hit the mic all the time. It's like a punching bag. But she just had a baby at the beginning of December. And her fiance, actually our coworker Kate, is very familiar with him. He's from overseas. He's a big, tall boxer. And she's like 5'0". But they had a baby on December 9th, and they just recently shared family photos and baby photos. And such a cute little bundle of joy.
Yeah. And he was an Olympic
There you go.
boxer.
See, you did research.
I did research.
didn't.
I just
was
went
like,
towards the cute guy. It
I was like, Hayden.
girl, guy.
Something's wrong with me. If you look at Hayden Panettiere and you look at Miranda Lambert, they could be like cousins. They look
I
very
will
similar.
say that. I did notice that part.
I have a type when it comes to my celebrity crushes that are girls. Not in an inappropriate way. Yeah. So he was in the Olympics.
I think it was 1996.
Oh.
He was a gold medalist, I believe.
I wonder how old she is.
12.
I know, she looks like she could be. But she's such a phenomenal actress, in my opinion. I'm sure a lot of people are like, okay, turn off the podcast now.
But that's okay. He's really cute.
I didn't notice him. That's horrible. I need to work on myself. So, looking back on 2014, what was your highlight?
My highlight? Wasn't twerking.
No. We'll get to that in a minute.
My highlight, that's really bad of me. My highlight was my son's graduation from high school.
That is awesome.
That he survived and I didn't kill him. Just kidding, son, if you're listening.
It was a stressful moment for all of you.
Yeah, well, I mean.
And now he's in college.
He's in college, yeah, surviving. Much better than I thought he was, so I'm very pleased.
You're proud of him.
I'm very proud of him.
He just finished his first semester in college.
Yes, he only had one D. Everything else was B's and A's.
Oh, that's awesome.
Might have been a C, but I can't remember. So
that's awesome.
The classes that he struggled in were ones that he has always struggled in. So that's a good. He's getting better. He never studied before.
Right. I remember that transition from high school to college. It's tough. That first semester is like a make it or break it for a lot of people. A lot of people don't make it.
Right.
Because high school is such a different level than college.
Exactly.
Unless you're one of those people that take all those AP classes, which I didn't. I took one AP class in high school, and I had to take it pass-fail because I was like, I am going to tank my GPA, and it was not my thing.
Those are really hard. I did not. I was not that kid, so... And they didn't even really have those kind of classes when I was
They
in
had just
high
started
school.
offering them in my little Missouri town.
So,
So, carrying on with question and answer fun.
okay.
Christmas was last week. Can you believe this whole Christmas, New Year's, there needs to be like 2 weeks in between them because I feel like they happen like bam, bam. And then all of a sudden you're into a new year.
Yeah, and everybody's on vacation for the whole month.
I know, right? Except us.
Except us.
What was your favorite Christmas moment this year?
Spending time with the boys, Christmas Eve.
And when you say the boys, it's your husband and son.
Husband and son. Yeah,
Aw.
we spent a couple
What'd you
hours. We had, after they got my van home from the office, because I got a flat tire on Christmas Eve.
I think I saw that on Facebook.
Yes. But anyway, after we got that, it's like, okay, so what are we going to do? We've already had dinner. What are we going to do? Let's not go to our computers and to our TVs and stuff.
Let's have family time.
Let's have a little family time if we can stand each other long enough. We
Right.
played Uno for a couple hours.
That's awesome.
I don't think they liked it as much as I did because I was winning. But that's okay.
You know, my fondest memory as a child was playing Uno and Yahtzee with my mom.
Oh, that's a good
She
combination.
always beat me. Always. In fact, my aunt recently texted me and said, your mom is a queen of Yahtzee. I'm like, no kidding. She still kicks tail.
Yeah, Daryl normally doesn't let anybody win,
Mm-hmm.
but he was losing quite
Badly?
badly. If we had been keeping points, he would have probably been the worst.
Oh, wow.
Of the three of us.
But it's all about the fun. Steve likes Uno, but he doesn't like Phase 10. Have you played Phase 10?
Have not played Phase 10. I've seen it.
I like it. I recommend it. You should try it.
Okay.
It looks similar to Uno, but it's really nothing like Uno. But
I
the
used to
colors
play
and such.
I used to play Skip-Bo way back in the day, and I can't even remember
I have
anything
never,
about
but
it.
I have seen that.
So it seems like it has regular cards with that one.
I've tried to convince Steve to have board game nights where, like, we have a couple friends over, but it's not his thing. I'm like, we could do food and drinks, and he's like, and then someone gets drunk, someone gets into a fight. I'm like, well, yeah, that is part of board game night,
Yes,
but it's so much cheaper than going out.
it is, and I could never convince Daryl of that either. It's like, no. He's like, if you want to do D&D, Dungeons and Dragons,
Oh,
but then he's like,
whoosh, over my head.
and it's still, that's just not as much fun. So, because people don't like the way he handles things.
Oh, is he an angry person when he loses?
Yes, and he also likes to control things.
Oh, interesting.
So we don't play Dungeons and Dragons anymore.
I have never played it, so I don't understand.
It's okay. Normally,
Is
I
it
don't.
a video game?
No. It's turned into that.
Okay.
But it started off being books and rolling dice and making up stories.
I think I've
with a
seen
bunch
it
of
on Big
nerds.
Bang Theory. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's a bunch of nerd things.
I love Sheldon.
What's interesting is I finally found somebody at work that actually knows what I'm talking about. Kate E.
I could, yeah. She's a smarty, her and her
So-
husband.
Yeah, it's her husband that got her into it. So
That's
anyway,
awesome.
As we digress.
Okay, so speaking of plans, New Year's Eve plans? Nothing?
Nothing. I was hoping you would give me ideas.
A lot of my friends are going downtown. I think that's a bit much. Steve is performing in the Colorado Springs area, so that's what I'm doing. I don't know, like the best New Year's Eves I've had people over. Half of them stayed the night, and that's fine because it's much safer that way. I don't know, like, because you guys haven't gone out for New Year's Eve in how long?
Taylor's born in 96. Sometime long before then.
Is there a local bar that you guys go to or
Daryl doesn't drink, so no.
restaurant?
Out back.
Are they open that late?
No. One year I had someone to babysit. We ended up at King Soopers and 24-hour Walmart. How boring was that? None of us, we didn't want to do anything. It's like,
Right. So what I recommend is grabbing some champagne for yourself and some sparkling juice for Daryl. Grabbing some like movies and watching the ball drop at midnight. Well, actually, it's like 10 o'clock here, isn't it?
yeah.
But they replay it at midnight.
They play it every hour.
Yeah, just enjoy quality time again. Is Taylor going to be home?
Probably.
So that'll be an opportunity. Get away from the computers. Make it a rule. From 9 p.m. to midnight, you must be off the computer and awake. Because I could see them trying to be like, Mom, I'm tired.
Yeah, Mom, I don't want to do this anymore.
Right. So I think that would be fun. Have some good food.
That would be an idea.
You know what my dad used to always do? Because they weren't drinkers at all. They would, it was the one night of the year, he'd get this big party tray of meats and cheeses and crackers, and he would buy easy cheese. It was the only time of the year he'd buy the cheese in the can.
Oh, yeah.
The cheddar and bacon on a Ritz cracker. To this day, I crave it, but I don't buy it.
You actually used a Ritz cracker?
Yes.
You-
I would try and sneak
I forgot.
it in
You're
my
from
mouth.
Missouri. You're from Missouri. You're not from Oklahoma. Oklahoma is straight in the mouth.
No, I would try to, and I'd get in trouble. Because the can would go much faster that way. Much faster.
The fancy way to eat it is on celery.
Oh, there you go. That's healthier. There's no chemicals in easy cheese. None.
None.
Whatsoever. It's all natural.
Kind of like
It's
Ready Whip.
organic. Yeah. Ready Whip. So that's what we did every year. And then he would make this punch with, I made it at work for a baby shower.